Having said that, I think, we don't need to worry about, I heard Richard Vickery's very erudite slide-based death by PowerPoint presentation. I don't think brand Modi's in any trouble. There are no hiccups. Half the problems in the world, as far as global diplomacy are concerned, have been created by the United States of America. They've got two powerful brands now competing for presidency. Donald Trump on the one hand and Kamala Harris. You don't know which is the lesser evil, but I'll let that pass. Let's come to brand Modi. I don't think there's any problem. The problem, if there exists, is a problem with the narrative that has not been contained or argued against by people who seemingly represent Narendra Modi. By the way, this is the only time I've seen in India that the victor behaves like a loser and the losers are behaving like victors. I mean, for God's sake, what has the opposition achieved? 99 seats, give them 100, give them 102. Rahul Gandhi behaves as if he's the prime minister. And all the so-called left liberal, Kishore Kumar spouting, or let's say Naushad spouting, or even Gurudat spouting musicians say, oh, but it's a great defeat for Narendra Modi. For God's sake, he's become Prime Minister of India. He's elected. He wasn't nominated. I used to say of Manmohan Singh that at that time we lived in a fabulous India. A woman was in power but not in office. A man was in office but not in power. At least now we have someone who's in office and in power, or vice versa. I don't think there's any disconnect with brand Modi. Number one. Number two. Where has brand Modi gone wrong? Brand Modi has gone wrong because he genuinely, his surround sound people, that coterie of seeming advisors, including the so-called New York Times, Washington Post cabal, believe that, oh my God, democracy is under threat. One gentleman went to the United States condemning our democracy, and today is leader of opposition because of that democracy. Where on earth is India's democracy threatened? Narendra Modi became Prime Minister because of an election. He didn't sneak in through the back door, or he wasn't puppet planted by the United States of America. So let's give the man some credit. It is impossible, Govind, as you well know, for brands to survive the glare of both public scrutiny and public opinion for as long as Narendra Damodar Das Modi has done. And I'm not only talking about his prime ministerial years, I'm even adding the chief minister years to that. Number one. Number two. Brands are about direction. Brands are about benefits. My only issue with the BJP government is all the good that they've done is they've not been able to communicate that. It gets totally lost by the surround sound of Muslims and goddamn IC 814, which is a ridiculous series. Why even waste time calling some chap who's made the series or whatever? I don't even want to go into that. The narrative has constantly been hijacked, and the inability of the Indian government to communicate the good that it has done for the people, including the Muslims. Wasn't it Rajiv Gandhi who overturned the Supreme Court verdict on Shah Bano? People don't remember. People just remember what they choose to remember because the ideology is being cast in a manner where the brand is continuously assaulted by the few who he has made redundant. When brands make competition redundant, competitions seek different marketplaces. But today there's nowhere to go. I heard Richard Vickery talk about, there was a hiccup and NATO leaders. We don't care about NATO. Why should we bother about NATO? We have a republic to run off ourselves. We have to buy oil because our people need the oil. We are not here to pander to the United States of America or to the United Kingdom or to Fiji. We are a republic, a sovereign republic. It's about time that the United States realizes that there are countries in the world which are democracies, which have the liberty, the right to run their countries the way their leadership decides, for the benefit of their people, not for the benefit of 37, senators sitting in Washington, D.C. My fourth point, and this is a critical point, which I said in my Economic Times summit in March. Narendra Modi has done what no Prime Minister of India has done for a long, long time. And that is, he has embellished the pride of being Indian and the pride of belonging to India. You might disagree with his tactics. You might disagree with the strategy that when he goes abroad, he meets the diaspora. But please remember, Govind, there was a time when we were shamed and we were ashamed. We were shamed by people and we were ashamed of being Indian. Today, being Indian is a matter of great pride. Does it border on jingoism? I don't care. Does it build pride in India? Yes. Do we have young people who believe in the idea of India? Answer is yes. Have we corrected our history? The answer is yes. Have we made corrections to our social narrative? The answer is yes. Have we gotten rid of the triple talaq? The answer is yes. This is one man who has railed against an entire cabal of left-leaning liberals who are seemingly liberal. I only want to say one thing, Govind. Great brands are tested only by one thing, not longevity, by the benefits that they have created which outlast their lifetime. And this is what will happen to Modi. You know, Modi will be remembered in glowing terms because of some of the things that he has done today. They may be unpopular. That's the other thing about great brands. Winston Churchill said the only person you've got to be popular with is your spouse. Modi doesn't even need to worry about that Churchillian dictum. He has to be worried only about ensuring that the people of India get what they deserve. I am delighted. See, I hate all political parties. Whether it's the goddamn Republicans, the Democrats, the BJP, the Congress, even the Trinamool. So I have no political leanings whatsoever. But I can tell you one thing, that Narendra Modi has been good for India, will be good for India. There is nothing to rethink about the brand. Where rethinking and recalibration is required, in the swamp-driven mindsets of those people who think they know everything about branding, but are only making feeble presentations on what they believe life in India should be and how our leaders should behave. We have elected Narendra Modi. We are proud of the fact that he's a Prime Minister. He may not be popular, he may not pander to everyone's wishes, but if we needed that, we would have elected someone else. On that happy note, have a great afternoon, and I hope you don't get further delayed. I will be here for the next 2 minutes to applaud the next speaker, whoever he or she is. Thank you so much.
So can I...
What has Narendra Modi done for the economy? And when I say Indian pride, I'm talking about even the Made in India capsule, the whole Made in India program. How many unicorns did we have when he took office? 0. How many do we have today? 150. You're the fact checker, you should know. How has our economy done? It has done very well. How did we manage COVID? To my mind, from an economic prism, very well. We gave food to people who had no hope in hell, who had no hope in life. We not only resurrected hope, we made that hope possible by feeding the very brethren of our country who we had to feed. We have done pretty well economically. Look, Govind, you know this better than I do. Raj Bhatt is sitting there, he knows this better than I do. Internationally, people are re-examining the way they looked at India. Whether it's a Jamie Dimon, now can you accuse Jamie Dimon of having been bought by the RSS? No. You've had people, whether it's Jamie Dimon, whether it's John Chambers, whether it is Jack Ma, whether it's Elon Musk, people are hailing. You know, I have a very dear friend who's called Dr. Doom, Nouriel Roubini. Nouriel Roubini hates everything. The only person he loves is Modi. And when I asked him, I said, why? He says, because he's good for the country. Sometimes goodness cannot be equated in percentage terms. Oh, 6.2 GDP, 6.5 GDP. I will only say one thing. Businesses have never been more scared of doing the wrong thing, which was good. You don't have the 2G scandals that you had at that point in time. That crony capitalism, and no matter what people might say, you know, Rahul Gandhi keeps using industrialists' names. These people can't even give a daily, they can't give one day's job to people, but yet will abuse Indian industry. Today, the young of India, Govind, are inspired because they have an aspirational ladder to climb. You know, it's very important if a nation has to be invigorated, the invigoration must start from the bottom. The young of today believe in India. The young of today return to India. The young of today are not fleeing India. That's a great sign of an economic movement that is both progressive and rewarding.